The sonar operator's hand froze over his display at exactly 3:17 in the morning. What he saw crawling across that green screen should have been impossible. 3 underwater contacts, moving in perfect geometry around a United States aircraft carrier, in the middle of the ocean, at 3 in the morning. This was not a training exercise. This was not a scheduled patrol. 3 submarines had just announced their intention to trap the most powerful warship on Earth, and they thought the darkness would hide them long enough to make it work. Picture this scene for a moment. You are standing on the bridge of a Navy destroyer, looking out over black water that stretches to the horizon. Below you, the ocean is hiding something that wants your carrier dead. Behind you, 5,000 American sailors are depending on decisions that will be made in the next 10 minutes. There are no do-overs at sea, no timeouts, no calling for backup when backup is 1,000 miles away. The first contact appeared as a thin acoustic line, diesel-electric, small, aggressive, running shallow, and making just enough noise to be found. The sonar chief knew immediately this boat wanted to be heard. Real submarines trying to stay hidden do not broadcast their engine signatures like a dinner bell. This one was trying to draw attention while something else moved in the shadows. That something else revealed itself 30 seconds later. Contact 2, deep, quiet, professional. The acoustic signature had Russian fingerprints all over it. Advanced hull design, sophisticated noise dampening. A crew trained to let other people make mistakes while they waited in perfect silence. Then Contact 3 appeared on a completely different bearing. Same depth, same discipline, same patience. 3 submarines, 2 nations, 1 target. The mathematics of this ambush became clear instantly. The Iranian boat was the distraction. The Russian boats were the trap. Send the noisy one forward to force the Americans to react. Keep the quiet ones hidden until the carrier turned into their firing solution. Then close the triangle and own the ocean. But here's what those submarine commanders forgot. A United States aircraft carrier does not travel alone. It moves inside a floating fortress of destroyers, cruisers, and helicopter-capable ships. Every sensor is linked. Every weapon is coordinated. Every sailor knows exactly what to do when the ocean stops being empty. The destroyer captain gave one order that changed everything. Launch Seahawk. Within minutes, an MH-60R helicopter was over the water, dropping sonar buoys in a perfect search pattern. Each buoy became a listening post. Each listening post fed data back to the network. The ocean went from dark and private to mapped and measured in less than 5 minutes. The Iranian submarine made its first mistake at 3:29. It pushed closer to the outer defensive screen, probably hoping to force the carrier into a panic turn. Instead, the formation tightened like a fist. The destroyer shifted to block escape routes. The carrier held steady course. The helicopter dropped more buoys directly in the submarine's path. Suddenly, the hunter became the hunted. Remember this detail because it becomes crucial later. The moment that Iranian boat moved forward, it gave away the entire plan. Modern sonar does not just hear submarines, it reads their intentions. Speed changes reveal urgency, course changes reveal objectives, depth changes reveal fear. The Americans had been listening to this crew make decisions under pressure for almost 15 minutes. They knew exactly what kind of training these sailors had received. At 3:31, someone on that Iranian submarine opened a torpedo tube. The sound signature was unmistakable, metal grinding against metal under enormous pressure. The tactical action officer did not panic. He did not order an immediate attack. He simply noted the mechanical transient and prepared for what came next. What came next was a high-speed contact breaking away from the submarine's position, possible torpedo in the water. But instead of chaos, the American formation responded with cold precision, countermeasures deployed. The carrier adjusted course by exactly the amount needed to open distance. No wild maneuvers, no Hollywood dramatics, just a billion-dollar warship proving that panic is not a survival strategy. The torpedo, if that is what it was, took the bait. It followed the acoustic decoy away from the carrier and into empty water. Meanwhile, the 2 Russian submarines tried to use that moment of distraction to improve their positions. Contact 2 shifted angle. Contact 3 slowed to a crawl. Both boats were sliding toward better firing solutions, while the Americans dealt with the incoming weapon. That was their second mistake. The US Navy had been tracking all 3 submarines simultaneously since the moment they appeared. Moving during a torpedo attack did not create confusion. It created better target data. Every bearing change was recorded. Every speed adjustment was measured. Every attempt to reposition was answered by active sonar pulses that lit up the ocean like searchlights. Here is where this story takes a turn nobody expected. The ambush that was supposed to sink an American aircraft carrier became a training exercise for American sonar operators. The Iranian boat retreated first, pulling away from the helicopter pressure overhead. Contact 2 lost its attack angle when the carrier's small course change ruined its geometry. Contact 3 tried to disappear beneath a thermal layer but got caught by sonar buoys that had been waiting for exactly that move. By 3:40, 3 submarines that had entered the fight as ghosts were now numbered problems on a tactical display. Every American ship in the formation knew their exact positions, their speed, their depth, their acoustic signatures. The patrol aircraft overhead was building files that would follow these boats for the rest of their operational lives. When submarines get cataloged by the US Navy, they stop being mysterious, they become known quantities. Now here's the part that should make you angry. This entire engagement lasted less than 30 minutes. 3 submarines from 2 different nations coordinated an ambush against the most defended ship on Earth. They fired what may have been a live torpedo at American sailors. And when it was over, not one of them was forced to surface. Not one was damaged. Not one faced any consequences except being embarrassed by superior technology and better training. The American commander chose restraint over retaliation. He could have ordered depth charges. He could have launched anti-submarine torpedoes. He could have turned that piece of ocean into a demonstration of what happens when you threaten a US aircraft carrier. Instead, he let those submarines retreat while recording every detail of how they moved, how they communicated, and how they failed. Some people call that mercy, others call it intelligence gathering, but here is what it really was, a message. The next time those submarine crews go to sea, they will know the Americans heard them coming from miles away. They will know their acoustic signatures are in a database. They will know their tactics were studied, analyzed, and filed away for future reference. They will know the ocean is no longer on their side. And this is where it gets personal. Every sailor on that carrier strike group went to work that morning knowing someone had tried to kill them in the dark. They responded not with rage or fear, but with the kind of professional competence that makes enemies reconsider their life choices. No panic, no mistakes, no dramatic gestures. Just 5,000 Americans doing their job so well that 3 submarines slinked away into the night like scolded children. Because here is what this all means going forward. Modern naval warfare is not about who shoots first. It is about who controls the information. Those submarines came hunting for a vulnerable target and instead fed intelligence to the most advanced anti-submarine network ever built. They turned themselves into case studies. Their acoustic signatures are now baseline data for training American sonar operators. Their tactics are now examples of what not to do when approaching a carrier strike group. The Iranian submarine that started this entire incident has lost the one thing submarines need most: invisibility. The next time it goes to sea, American passive sonar will recognize its engine rhythm from 50 miles away. The next time it tries to hide, American algorithms will know exactly what to listen for. The next time it approaches a US formation, it will be detected, tracked, and handled before it gets close enough to matter. That is the real cost of this ambush, not the fuel burned or the weapons expended or the hours of sleep lost by 5,000 sailors. The real cost is that 3 submarines just taught the US Navy exactly how to find them next time. They paid for the privilege of making their enemies smarter, faster, and more dangerous. So here is my question for you. If you were commanding that carrier strike group, would you have forced those submarines to surface at gunpoint? Or was letting them retreat under observation the smarter play? Because out there in the dark ocean, the loudest weapon is not always a torpedo. Sometimes it is a sonar screen, a patient commander, and 3 enemy submarines discovering too late that they just turned themselves into homework assignments for the US Navy.